So these are the tomatoes I got from the Amish auction. Aren't they beautiful? I just think they're so gorgeous. I've got 3 boxes that look like this. I'll lift this up so you can see 3 boxes like this. Then I have a bunch of small tomatoes too that I need to process. So now, let me see if I can make this, whoops, a little lower here. There we go. I'm just going to core them. And you know, I don't have one of those fancy cores, so I was just going to use my knife. I have a knife, and that's what I was going to do, was just start coring them. Just core them out. And then if I see any bad spots, I'll cut those out as well. So then, these are supposed to be really good. They're called Red Deuce, and they were made for canning because they're so big and meaty. They're quite amazing, really. I'm going to sharpen this. So, I should get a big bowl to put these in. I do have a big bowl, actually. Let me get my big bowl. I squeaked. Let me get my giant bowl. I do have a big bowl. I used to have all this stuff for canning, and I haven't canned in years because my kids, I'm going to sharpen this real quick too. My kids are all grown now, but then now they all want me to make salsa for them. I love this sharpener. This is a very nice sharpener. So, this is a Pampered Chef knife I got years ago. So, see, and if there's any bad spots like this, you cut those out. So I just cut them out. Put them in here. And now I'm just going to put them in the boiling water to take off the peeling, because you don't, that's almost too low, because you don't want it to cook. You're not cooking them, you're, oh, for heaven's sakes. There we go. There we go. That's a little better. Because you're not cooking them, you're just getting them hot. It takes a few minutes, and then once they start coming off, then you just pull the, you have to put them in cold water, so I got to get a sink ready for that, to put them in cold water. So what I usually do is just get them cored real quick. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm sure that you've seen a person core tomatoes before, so I'll go ahead and not bore you with this for the whole time, but that's what I'm doing for now. So I just put a bowl full in the boiling water. So when it comes out, you're supposed to put it in ice water, but cold water works fine. So I'm going to put it in cold water since my ice maker broke and I don't have any ice. This will work fine. So we'll drop it in the cold water once those get done. So I'm going to fill up this sink with cold water. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I can turn it here. You can see it here in the pot. Let's see. There it is. You can see the pot of boiling. Stuff's starting to come off, so I just got to keep a good eye on it. And there we go. So now the tomatoes that were in boiling water, some of them are starting to get done. So I'm taking them out. I carry them over a lid to keep them from dripping on my floor, because you can see how clean my house is. That's funny. No, but it does help. So then you can see how the tomatoes kind of pulling away from, the peelings pulling away from the tomato. That's how you know that they'll be ready to peel. So you just drop them into the water. I got this handy dandy little thing. I thought this would work really good to pull them out of the boiling water. And you don't want to cook them too long. And I've made this mistake before. When the first year I made salsa, I cooked them way too long and they got way too mushy. The tomatoes did. You do not want mushy tomatoes for making salsa. It is not good. It does not taste good. And it is just not a good way to make salsa. So I've learned from my mistakes. But honestly, it's been years since I made salsa, so don't be surprised if I make some mistakes this time. It's okay though. Boy, those are heavy tomatoes. Look how it is filling up that sink. That's crazy. Huh. I have to empty that sink a little bit. That's okay though, because I'll have to add some more cold water as we go anyway. And then I'll show you, once you drop them in here, they should, if they were ready, they should peel just like this. They should come off, should peel really easily. If they're a little too hard to peel, I'll throw them back in, because I don't want to sit and fight with them. But see how easy that peeling comes right off? Comes right off. And then I usually don't cut out the bottom, but I'll pull it all out with my fingers when I peel it. Perfect. Isn't that beautiful? That is a great tomato for making salsa. And I need to get another bowl out. We'll put it in here for now. But isn't that cool? So awesome. Now my hands are, and I have a kitten underfoot. I just hope he doesn't get smushed. He's so tiny. You're so tiny. These are gorgeous tomatoes. It smells like fall to me. I love the smell of tomatoes cooking. So now what I'll do is, I've gotten all these two boxes completed. I have one more box to do, but I'm going to let the water that is boiling on the stove come to a boil again. And while it's doing that, I'm going to keep peeling these because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a pot of salsa. And I think I'm going to use this pan. I've used this pan many years to make salsa in. I'm going to clean it out. It was in my basement, so I want to make sure it's nice and clean. But I'm going to use this. I got the soap out to make my salsa in, because when you by the time I process all these tomatoes and add the cilantro and the onion and the garlic, they do, and then I drain them. I drain them first before I put it in here. I don't let it cook down all day because it takes all day to cook down, and I just soon drain them and then put them in. It just saves me a little bit of time because I don't want super runny salsa, but yet I run it through a food processor because it is, I don't make chunky salsa. That's just my preference. That's just my preference to do it that way. I mean, everybody can make it the way they want to, but I prefer to make the kind that they have at the restaurants. I really like that. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll show you how I make how I process it. I'll get it going here. But I wanted to make sure that my pan was really clean. Good. Whoop. Well, my floor is going to be clean now. Such a klutz. Let me get a towel so I don't fall on it, because you know I will. Oh, I'm such a klutz. I do. I spill all the time. When I get done, I'm going to sweep and mop this floor because it'll be a mess by the time I'm done with this anyway. So, and then I'll have a ton of towels to wash. That's just kind of the way it goes. It's okay. It's worth it to have delicious salsa. I love it. I love it, love it. So I need to finish getting these. Hold on. We have a cat issue. Harley! Sorry, I had to go put the kitten away. His big brother gets a little rough with him, and he's too little right now for it to be safe. So I needed to put him where he's safe. I gotta watch him till he gets bigger. So now, I still have one more big thing of tomatoes to do yet. What I do is I try to get all my tomatoes done before I at least get them in the thing to peel. I don't know if I need to. I'm not sure. You know, it's been so long since I've done this. I may get a batch going here shortly because I think I have enough tomatoes peeled. Some of these tomatoes are so good, I kind of want to set them aside for hamburger tomatoes. They look so good. Like this one looks so good for like a hamburger. Oh, it's got a bad spot. Well, oh, it's an ugly one. We'll put it in the salsa. They're so good. We'll just put these in the salsa. I did save one aside. And it's just me, so it's not like I'm going to eat them that fast anyway. I'm not a big tomato person. But I do like salsa. I'm not going to lie, I do like salsa. And another thing, because I live alone and stuff, I like to bring salsa to work. Like if work has a food day, which because of COVID they haven't been lately. But if they do, I like to bring salsa and chips. That's always a good thing. Then all I have to do is grab a jar and take it into work and a bag of chips. Super easy. People love it. People love that. Because then they're like, oh, did you make this? And then they're like, how did you make this? And they're all kind of interested. It's really kind of fun It's really kind of fun to do it. So that's pretty exciting. So I'm going to put all these tomatoes, the water's boiling now, so we're going to put all these tomatoes in. Tomatoes. Let them cook for a couple minutes. Now, I think I have enough peeled. Let me get a few more peeled here. Sorry, I keep turning you around. I think I have enough peeled. Let me get a few more peeled, and then we'll be able to do, plus I need to empty this out some for the next batch. It's like shifts. You got to do it in shifts when you're doing a big batch of salsa. And I like to do a big bunch of them in one day and be done with it for the year. I know a lot of people do small batches so they don't have to spend the whole day doing it. But because I don't really have a lot, well, this year I didn't have a garden, but next year I don't know if I'll have enough in my garden, and I'll probably still go to Iowa and get a bunch of tomatoes like this anyway. I'll probably just do a day of salsa making, but I'd like to be done by 5 so I can do something else and enjoy my evening. Because once we get the salsa cooked up and made, we're done. With this anyway. But it'll be worth it in the long run. Just spend a day working on it. Plus it smells like fall, and I love that. Okay, whoops, I hit my cupboard. I'm gonna have to wipe down my cupboards now. Now that one, I kind of overcooked probably. Okay. Now, I'm going to have to process some of these tomatoes because I'm getting too many over here. Let me get my food processor ready so I can show you how I do this. It's kind of fun, actually. I love doing this part of it. Let me turn you around here. Okay, so here's all my lids. I don't need to, what I'll do with my lids when it's time to start actually canning them, I will start boiling my lids. I do that. It's just weird. I washed all my jars in my dishwasher this morning, so they're sanitized. Some people like to boil their jars. That's fine. You can do it either way. I like to wash mine in the dishwasher. So that's how I do it. To each his own. I don't think there's a wrong way to do it. As long as they're clean, that's the main thing. That's all that really matters. Okay. Let's see how these are looking. Some of these are looking pretty done. Let's take these out. I don't want to overcook them. Now I still have another whole sack of tomatoes I got to process. Let me show you But I have to do it I have to keep moving on them. Otherwise, I'm not going to have enough. I got to start my salsa. So let me show you. Because we brought back lots of tomatoes. Oh, it's going to fall out of the sack. From Iowa. We have all these little tomatoes in here. Like this. Now see, they're a lot smaller, so they're going to be fun. I'd rather do the great big ones, but that's okay. We'll process these too, and there's no reason they should go to waste. I may even use them for stewed tomatoes, you know, to save too. I'm going to wait and see here. But I want to get these big guys going. And I'm gonna start my pan over here for my salsa. So I'm going to put a package of, I'm just gonna start with one package in this pan of my seasonings. It smells good. And here it says 6 pounds. I could weigh it out and be all, but what I'll do is go by taste. That's, to me, is probably the best way. I'm going to leave this water boiling because I still got more tomatoes to do. I bought this. I love this food processor. It's a Hamilton Beach one. I've had it. Gosh, I've had it for like 5 or 6 years. I've only used it once to make salsa. But it is really good for big batches of salsa. It is really, really good. I like to use this attachment to just chop everything up. And that's probably, there's probably a better way to do it. I don't know, but that's the way I like to do it. Now, this is the safety thing. So, what I need to do is get my cutting board, which is right here. I'll rinse it off. I was processing peppers, green peppers last night. I had a bunch of green peppers that I had to do right away, and I got those all processed. So that was okay. So what I'm going to do is take my big, so you can see it here. Where's my, oh, my big knife is in here. So use it for my peppers. I have a big knife for my tomatoes, and I usually just do this so it'll fit in the processor. And I just fill it up till I have one of these full, basically. These are so nice and meaty, I like them. So, I like them to be chopped up like, if you were gonna eat them at a restaurant, you wouldn't want great big chunks in it. So you chop them up like that. And I don't see any big chunks in them. Well, I do. I take them out. There we go. Perfect. Now, this probably might have been a little too much. Let me see. Nope, that looks good. And what I'll do is take it out, and I drop it through my strainer. So I keep only the meaty part, which saves me so much time of just going to leave it there and do another batch. And I'm just going to do another batch until I get them all in here. And see how it uses that up? And I'm probably wasting a lot of tomato juice. I know. I probably need to do it a different way. But this is how I've always done it. These are really good tomatoes though. I like them. They make really good. These are going to be good. That's probably enough. Oh, you gotta love it. This one's different. Let's see here. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Okay. Oh, okay. Can't lock it till it's over to the side. You dork. Like I said, I've only made this once with this food processor. But it's nice and big. I like it. There's a few big pieces left still. Let's get this done. That looks good. Then I just open it. Oops, dump it in my strainer. There we go. Then when I get enough, I'll pour it in. This is a pan I'm going to start with. Got a few chunks in there, that's okay. And this is the start of my salsa. And then I'll stir it up. And then I'm going to add cilantro, onion, and garlic to this. So I stirred everything up in the pot really good. Got it all stirred up. And this is what it looks like now. I'm going to add a batch of cilantro. I'll show you here. This is what it looks like now. And then I'm going to add a batch of cilantro, onion, and garlic to it. And then we'll keep adding tomatoes until it gets, I have it on low right now. I'll turn it up when I get more tomatoes in it, because I'm going to fill that, about 3/4 full, I'm filling that up. The whole point of this is to make lots and lots of salsa. So, I may fill that up. Let's put this back. So let's do some more tomatoes, and then we'll do the cilantro. I like a lot of cilantro in mine. I mean, it's just up to you how you like it. I like mine to have a lot. It's kind of your own taste and how spicy you want it. I don't like my salsa to be too spicy, but I think I put about 6 or 7 jalapenos in it, and I don't seed them. I just put them in there. You can seed them. That would make them less spicy. But when you put 6 or 7 in that big pot, that's not real super. And I mean, a lot of it depends on the jalapenos too, you know. You never really know for sure. I'm going to add some more to this. Picking it up a little bit. Trying to get this done. Because I still have a lot of tomatoes to process yet. I kind of started slow because I haven't done this in so long. I used to be so fast at this. And my kids would wait for it to get done and get hot on the stove. And I'd have to put some in a container so they could eat it with their chips. Well, I wanted them to taste it anyway. But they'd eat it with their chips and tell me if it tasted good or not. I like that. There we go. That looks good. So I love, oops, I got too close to the counter. Love this. Oh, look at what I did. We're just going to pour it in. It suctions into the... Yes, I do make a big mess. Let me wipe it down real quick. Like Mom always said, you clean as you go. There's some seeds here. These seeds, I'm going to save these because this is some good tomatoes. I'm going to save those. I'm going to put those aside. I have got a mess all the way down my cupboards. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is going to require some cleanup for sure. That's okay. It's worth it, believe me. Okay. Let me rinse this off. I like to do my cilantro and my jalapenos, and first I'm going to rinse it all off. And I normally wear gloves because I'm super oops, I'm putting that in there. That's not good to do. Dang it. Super allergic. We'll just go with those for now. Super sensitive to jalapenos, for sure. I'm going to redo those. Wish you guys could smell this. It smells so good. It smells like fall. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to cut these off. Whatever you do, do not touch your face after you cut these. See, I'm barely touching them. I'm just doing this. The stems. And I'm throwing them in there. Eek. We'll start off with 3. Those are pretty big. We'll start off with those. I don't want it to be too hot or we can't eat it. I'm straining my tomatoes a little bit. There we go. put those in my pan. I need to find I know, this will work. A lid is a wonderful thing. I probably just put out my, nope, I didn't. There we go. Okay, let me stir this up. This is going to be a big old pot of salsa. This is going to be so good. I remember one year I had like 5 pots of salsa going. It was so awesome. My kids were like in heaven. It was funny. Okay. Let me wipe this down because I spilled. Where did I put it? Okay, well, I don't know. Let me rinse off my, I'm going to do a bunch. I like a lot of salsa in my, or I'm sorry, a lot of cilantro in my salsa, but I don't like the stems to not be crunched up. Let's just do one bunch for now. And I'm just going to cut them off, take out anything that doesn't look good. I don't like the big stems in there, so I just cut them up. And I'm sure this is not a perfect way to do it because I really was never taught a perfect way. I just kind of figured it as I went. So if there's a good way and you guys know a better way, please comment. And I'm all ears because, yeah, I'm 52 years old and yeah, you know, I'm older and everything, but I've always had to learn this stuff on my own. And we didn't have like YouTube and things like that back in those days, or at least I didn't know about it. So I was too busy raising kids and, you know, my youngest are twins. So I was very busy and I worked a lot. Whoops. So it was very difficult. So there we go. There's that bunch. Now I need my onion, which is still in the bag over here. And I'm going to put one onion in here. It's good to have onion in your salsa, I feel like. So I'm just going to cut this onion. These are just the 88-cent. I used to use the white onions for my salsa, but I don't see what the difference would be if I think these actually have more flavor than the white. So I'm going to use these this year. The yellow onions. So take that off, throw it in the garbage. Make sure none of the peeling gets in there. Cut it in 4s, drop it in my food processor. There we go. We'll start with that for now. And if I feel like it doesn't have enough cilantro, I'll add more later. Okay. Oh, well, it always is helpful if you put this in there. That's too funny that I did that. Oh my goodness, everything is super... Hold on, I need another towel or something. Here we go. I wondered why it looked like it wasn't... Oh my goodness. This isn't supposed to be a comedy show, but it's turning out to be one. Let's try this again. I don't have it down far enough. Oh, dear Lord. Hold, please. I took all this trouble not to touch these jalapenos, and look what I'm doing. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Look what I did. I'm gonna have to wash my hands really good. There we go. It has to be at the bottom. I'm so goofy. And see, you still are gonna get the stems in, so that's why it's really good to run it through the food processor, I feel like. Really good. And I like to get this ground up really good. There we go. Because you're really just putting the flavors in it. So let's see how that looks. That looks good. And there can be some chunks too. Ugh. Jalapeno definitely has some power there. Those are strong. Good thing I only put 3 in there. Look at that. Whew. That is powerful. Let's put that in there. That goes straight in here. Straight into our salsa. Whew. Now, if we fill this up, I'll probably do another batch of this to put in there. We'll see. We'll see how it tastes too. Because, you know, I may not add more jalapenos, but I'll definitely add more cilantro and onion. And it gives it some color, which is really nice. I like it. Okay. Whew. That's powerful. Now we can go back to doing our potatoes. My eyes will stop. Ugh, that was a strong onion. Ugh, man. It doesn't help that I can't see because my eyes keep watering.